Some days, being a ranch owner feels like living in a war zone, especially when Karen from the HOA decides to escalate her vendetta. This time, she targeted my food truck, completely unaware of who I was serving and why. It was a sweltering summer day. I had my food truck parked near the barn, fully stocked and ready to deliver meals to a local disaster relief effort. We were helping families affected by a recent flood, providing hot meals and bottled water. Volunteers were lined up, grateful for every bite. Then came Karen. She drove up in her SUV, flanked by 2 HOA board members, and stomped out, fists on her hips. "You can't park that thing here," she barked. "This is residential property. No commercial vehicles are allowed." I looked at her calmly, wiping my hands on a towel. "This isn't commercial. I'm delivering food to families in need. And this is my property." Karen's face twisted. "I don't care. You're breaking HOA rules. I'm calling the police." She was already on her phone, dialing 911 like a villain in a movie. Within minutes, a patrol car arrived. The officer stepped out and approached Karen first. "Ma'am, what seems to be the problem?" She gestured at my food truck. "This man is operating a commercial business on private property. He's violating HOA rules." I stepped forward, smiling. "Officer, this isn't a business. These meals are for disaster relief. The people you see here need food. I'm not violating any laws, and I'm on my own property." The officer raised an eyebrow and walked over to inspect the truck. There were large containers of soup, sandwiches, and bottled water labeled for donation, volunteer badges on the people helping, and a clearly posted disaster relief food service sign. "Ma'am," the officer said, turning to Karen, "it appears this is a charitable operation. No laws are being broken here." Karen sputtered. But HOA rules," the officer interrupted. "HOA rules don't override private property rights. This truck is parked legally on private property, serving the community. You're mistaken if you think otherwise." Karen's face turned bright red. She tried one last time, flailing her hands. "I'm the HOA president. You have to listen." The officer shook his head. "Ma'am, your authority does not extend here. Please step back and leave the property." Karen's 2 board members muttered apologies as they backed off, dragging her toward her SUV. By the time she left, the volunteers were cheering. Some even waved at the officer, thanking him for his intervention. I stayed on site for the rest of the afternoon, making sure every meal was delivered. Meanwhile, Karen had made a serious mistake. The officer filed a report for her harassment and false complaint, warning that any repeat interference could lead to criminal charges. By sunset, the food truck was empty, the volunteers packing up, and Karen's presence was a distant memory. I walked to the truck, leaned against the counter, and smiled. She had no idea that trying to shut me down not only failed but also got her on a formal record with the police. From that day on, the truck stayed parked on the ranch whenever disaster relief required it. I even put up a small sign on the barn door: "Authorized disaster relief vehicle, HOA rules do not apply." Every time Karen drives by now, she sees it and frowns. She's learned, painfully, that some missions, especially those for the greater good, are untouchable, and some property owners are untouchable too.